He was OSS CIA. That's what I mean. I did the kind of things that they do long, long ago. So that's how I know. And incidentally, the letter to the editor and at the end of that U.S. section by some of my people who I've used for many years getting information. And I don't pay for information, incidentally. They bring it to me because they want the public to know what's really going on. I mean, these are good people. And there's some tremendous information in there. I mean, the article that I wrote about Madoff maybe 2 months ago when all this started, I can't remember how long ago it was, but I knew where all the money was laundered through, not all of it, but most of it, and that information just came out this week. That's how far we are ahead of the curve. We know what's going on out there. And that's why it's probably the International Forecast is the most copied publication in the world right now. And I'm happy it is. I don't care how many people copy it. The most important thing is that the people of the world find out who's screwing them, so they can make sure they're no longer in office and they can't steal from them anymore, and then bring them to court and bring them to trial and then convict them and take all their assets away from them, including those assets in their families and foundations, and put it in the U.S. Treasury. That's what should happen. That would hurt them more than anything. Some of them committed treason, so they'll have to be hung. Or whatever they choose, gas chamber, electric chair, whatever they want. I don't think we should be prejudiced if somebody wants to die a certain way. But anyway, that's where this is all going to lead to. Why? Because of this program and programs like it and newsletters, the public of the world is finding out who's doing it to them. And that's why the Illuminati has come into the open. Yesterday I saw an article from a New Jersey newspaper that said, these Illuminati scumbags have screwed us, and went on and on about it. I mean, this is a general circulation newspaper. I've been doing this 50 years. I've never seen that before. We're winning. We'll have to pay a price. Half the people in the world could die because these people are insane. But we're going to win. And you got to be prepared. You got to have your defensive position and your gold and silver, and you'll make it. And you got to protect your families, children, grandchildren, friends, everybody you can. You got to give of yourself, especially older people. You've had a life. If you're 65, 75, 85, and you die, so what? You had a life. You can stop the bullet. Let the young people live.
This is in reference to the Fed buying the U.S. Treasuries. Do you think this news is damaging enough to send the dollar index below 80? And do you think the other countries will step in to try and save the dollar once again?
On the first part, it'll go below 80. On the second part, they ain't stepping in to save nothing. Simple as that. And if you read the International Forecaster, and if you have been listening to this program for the last 4 months, I told you that the Treasury was secretly selling bonds to the Fed, which was making money out of thin air, to buy them and giving that money to the Treasury Department, and at the same time lending the bonds out that they received or selling them slowly into the market. And they admitted it today. Nobody, I mean no newsletter writer, no reporter in the entire world came out with that information. Now, I don't have anybody in the Treasury, but I looked at the numbers and I knew what they were doing. You know what they call that? Not intelligence. They call it street smarts. You want to survive? you find out what the enemy's going to do before he does it, or before he admits it. Can you imagine spending $750 billion on buying toxic mortgages worth 15 cents on the dollar? What are they going to pay for them? 75 or 80? That's what they've been doing, because they had been buying them previously. And you know what the total figure might be? Maybe be around 6 to 9 trillion. It's only just begun, as Karen Carpenter said.
Well, you know, Bob, they keep telling the taxpayer out there that these are investments for them. So I think when these investments turn lower, that we should be able to deduct all those losses off our taxes, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
And I'm an orangutan too. All right, this is from a subscriber, and thanks for all the great information you and Melody put out. I remember you talking about this before, about the markets not behaving correctly during when gold went to $850 in the 80s. If you can flush it out a bit more relating to stocks and inflation, what happens to the stock market during inflation? Does it go up or down? The market goes down, and generally speaking, there are exceptions to that. What do gold and silver go up? At some stages, commodities go up too, because they happen to be a safe haven. And once deflation begins, there'll only be one thing: gold. And that's really the bottom line.
Is that it?
Yes, my child.
All right, here's another question.
You better hurry up. You only got 4 minutes.
Greg would like you to comment on this little mistake. Army investigating troops sent into Alabama town after murder spree. And he says, you may remember me stating in an email 6 months ago seeing 3 MP vehicles being transported on the interstate, which is very unusual, versus shipping by rail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do remember that vaguely. You know, maybe they were setting that thing up. You know, another excuse to have gun control. Very important information, very quickly. In the issue today, I had a number of letters for people to the editor who couldn't get ammunition, and then the word came out that Obama had said that all of the cartridges that had been spent in practice were to be crushed and then melted down. And the hue and cry was so great from the public because there's massive ammunition shortages right now. And the government has backed off. And it'll be in the next issue. I have it at the end of the U.S. section.
Yesterday.
And thank you for sending it in. You know, you guys are so helpful. That includes women, too. Send in anything you think is of importance. And if you got a real great article, send the link along with it. As you know, anything that we think you should know, we reprint.
This one is in yesterday. It's when Obama was at the White House yesterday with the Prime Minister of Ireland. We got about 20 seconds. Their speeches got mixed up, and he wants to know who is writing the speeches for Barack Obama.
Well, I don't know who's doing it, but somebody is. He seems to be, riveted on the teleprompter.
Yeah. He wants to know who is really running this country, but I guess we can get to that answer.
Oh, that's the first thing out of the box on Friday morning.
All righty. Friday
afternoon, I should say.
We'll be back then, so make sure you tune in. Until then, be safe, have a great day, and God bless. Thank you, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Bye.